Ever wonder what happened to the kid from that classic movie? You assume they just grew up and retired. But here's the catch. For many, it's not that simple. We found 15 child stars who didn't just leave Hollywood, they vanished.
Don't send my brother to the chair. Don't let him burn, please.
We're talking about the biggest names of their day, from Disney's first ever star to Oscar winners, who ended up in unmarked graves, working in plumbing, or becoming the center of enduring mysteries. Get ready, because the truth of what happens when the applause stops is more shocking than any movie plot. The dark side of Disney. Bobby Driscoll wasn't just any child actor. He was Disney's golden boy. Seriously, he was their first child star under contract, the voice and the model for Peter Pan himself. With his bright eyes and natural talent, Driscoll charmed everyone in classics like Song of the South and Treasure Island, even earning a special Juvenile Academy Award by age 12. Walt Disney personally called him the living embodiment of his most famous characters. But here's the catch with Hollywood. Its love for child stars has a cruel expiration date. As Driscoll hit his teens, his changing appearance just didn't fit Disney's wholesome image anymore. The crazy part is, acne and awkward teen years led to his contract being terminated just like that. In 1953, the studio that built him up simply threw him away when he wasn't marketable. What happened next was a heartbreaking spiral. Rejected by the industry that once loved him, Driscoll struggled with heavy substance issues and petty crime. His final years were spent in total anonymity, miles away from the Hollywood glamour. In 1968, his body was found in an abandoned building in New York City by kids playing. Get this, he had no ID. No family came forward. The boy who brought joy to millions passed away alone, unrecognized, and was buried in an unmarked grave on Hart Island, New York's mass burial site for the unknown Hollywood's cursed comedian. With his sideways baseball cap and infectious smile, Scotty Beckett charmed audiences as one of the most popular members of the Our Gang Little Rascals cast from 1934 to 1939. His natural charisma and comedic timing made him a standout, even among that talented group. What most people don't realize is that Beckett did manage a successful transition to teen roles, appearing in major films like The Jolson Story. He even landed a role on the TV series Rocky Jones, Space Ranger in the early 1950s. He seemed poised to beat the curse. Yeah, about that, behind his cheerful on-screen persona, Beckett's life was unraveling. Multiple marriages, money troubles, and serious legal problems painted a picture of a former star in a total freefall. Arrests for substance possession, passing bad checks, and assault created a record that made work impossible. His downward spiral got worse through the 1950s. In 1968, after another arrest, Beckett checked into a nursing home following an injury. 2 days later, he was found unresponsive in his room at just 38 years old. The official cause was listed as an overdose. The joyful child who made America laugh was gone, another casualty of early fame. Too young to go. Shane, come back! With that one simple cry at the end of the classic Western Shane in 1953, 11-year-old Brandon DeWilde created one of cinema's most unforgettable moments. The performance earned him an Academy Award nomination, making him one of the youngest nominees ever. DeWilde wasn't just a cute face. Critics loved his natural style. He seemed poised for lasting success, especially after holding his own with Paul Newman in HUD. But just as his adult career was taking shape, tragedy struck. On July 6, 1972, while traveling to visit his wife, DeWilde's van crashed into a parked truck in Denver, Colorado. He passed away from his injuries at just 30 years old. His promising career was instantly over. The boy who famously begged Shane not to leave had himself departed far, far too soon, leaving one of Hollywood's most poignant what might have been stories. His story is tragic, but some stars vanished for reasons far more sinister. From movie star to Uncle Fester. Before Shirley Temple, there was Jackie Coogan. He was Hollywood's original child superstar. After Charlie Chaplin discovered him in vaudeville, 5-year-old Coogan starred in The Kid in 1921, delivering a performance so heartbreaking it moved the entire world to tears. His popularity exploded. We're talking millions of dollars in merchandising, toys, clothes, you name it. He earned an estimated $4 million by the time he was a teen. That's over $60 million today. So here's the deal. When Coogan turned 21 and asked for his fortune, he made a devastating discovery. His mother and stepfather had spent all of it. Under California law, his earnings legally belonged to them. The bitter court battle that followed led to the Coogan Law to protect future child actors, but he only got a tiny fraction of his money back. Financially ruined, he struggled for adult roles. He eventually found new fame as Uncle Fester in The Addams Family in the 1960s, but after that, he faded away. He was the kid who made America cry only to be robbed by his own parents. From Oscar to real estate, some child stars are just cute. Peggy Ann Garner had genuine, rare, dramatic depth. Her performance in A Tree Grows in Brooklyn in 1945 earned her universal acclaim and a Special Academy Juvenile Award at age 13. Critics were amazed. Director Elia Kazan, who later directed Marlon Brando, praised her intuitive talent. She seemed destined for a brilliant adult career, especially after hits like Jane Eyre. But here's the catch. As Garner entered her late teens, the roles just stopped. The transition from child prodigy to adult actress proved impossible. By her early 20s, the girl hailed as one of cinema's most natural talents was struggling for bit parts on TV. Unlike Elizabeth Taylor, Garner found herself forgotten. The crazy part is, she took work as a real estate agent and a car saleswoman to support herself. When she passed away from cancer at just 52, few in Hollywood even noticed. They called her brilliant, then Hollywood never called her back. From $2,500 a week to advertising. With his proper British accent and amazing emotional depth, Freddie Bartholomew became MGM's most valuable male child star of the 1930s. In classics like David Copperfield and Captain's Courageous, alongside Spencer Tracy, he was a standout. At his peak, Bartholomew commanded an astounding $2,500 per week. That's like $50,000 a week today, making him one of the highest-paid child actors in the world. But just like Jackie Coogan, his career collapsed under a devastating financial battle. His parents, who had basically abandoned him to be raised by an aunt in England, suddenly reappeared to claim both their son and his massive earnings. The long legal battles drained his fortune and wrecked his box office appeal. By his late teens, his star had faded. He later found success in advertising and TV production, but the acting career that seemed destined for greatness was gone forever. From child star to tragedy, Natalie Wood achieved what most child actors only dream of, a successful transition. Starting with Miracle on 34th Street in 1947, she grew up on screen, emerging as a massive adult star in Rebel Without a Cause and West Side Story. She was the rarest of creatures, a child star with a healthy, sustainable adult career. But beneath the surface, things were dark. Her mother's relentless stage parenting had robbed her of a childhood. Wood later revealed she had been assaulted by a famous director at just 16, a trauma she kept secret for years. Wood's story ended with one of Hollywood's most enduring mysteries. In 1981, during a boating trip with her husband Robert Wagner and actor Christopher Walken, Wood drowned. The circumstances remain controversial 4 decades later. The investigation was reopened in 2011 and her cause of passing was reclassified from accident to undetermined. She survived child fame, but she couldn't escape the industry's darkest secrets. Some vanish by tragedy, but others just walk away. The ultimate disappearance. No child star ever burned brighter than Shirley Temple. With her iconic curls and unwavering optimism during the Great Depression, she wasn't just entertainment, she was national therapy. At just 6 years old, Temple was the top box office draw in America, saving Fox Film Corporation from bankruptcy. President Franklin Roosevelt himself said, "As long as our country has Shirley Temple, we will be all right." But as Temple approached her teens, audiences lost interest. The transition to adult roles was difficult for the girl everyone saw as a child. By age 22, she had retired. What happened next defied all child star conventions. Instead of spiraling, Temple reinvented herself completely. She became active in politics, eventually serving as the U.S. ambassador to Ghana and Czechoslovakia. It was a transformation so total that younger generations had no idea the distinguished diplomat was once the world's most famous movie star. She danced her way out of Hollywood and never ever looked back. From A-list to comic cleanser. While Shirley Temple was the princess, Jane Withers carved out her own niche as the mischievous antidote. After playing the mean little girl tormenting Shirley in Bright Eyes, Withers surprised everyone by becoming a huge star herself. Starring in 38 films by age 21, she was one of Temple's few genuine box office rivals. But like the others, adulthood brought career challenges. By the 1950s, her film career was over. In one of Hollywood's strangest second acts, Withers resurfaced in the 1960s and 70s as Josephine the Plumber in a long-running series of comic cleanser commercials. It was a dramatic fall from headlining major films. When the campaign ended, she vanished from the public eye again. She went from stealing scenes from Shirley Temple to scrubbing sinks on TV, hiding in plain sight. Roddy McDowall was one of Hollywood's most reliable child actors in classics like How Green Was My Valley and Lassie Come Home. He even successfully navigated teen roles. But despite this, his profile as a leading man mysteriously declined. He kept working, most notably in the Planet of the Apes franchise, hidden under all that makeup, but the star status that seemed inevitable never happened. What audiences didn't realize was that McDowall had deliberately stepped back. He developed a parallel career as one of Hollywood's most respected photographers, chronicling the very industry he was hiding from. As years passed, the boy who had been a household name transformed into an industry insider known within Hollywood but forgotten by the public. When he passed away in 1998, many were surprised to learn the former child star had been there all along, hiding in plain sight. She solved the case and left. Benita Granville was the iconic Nancy Drew in the 1930s, inspiring girls and earning an Oscar nomination at 14. But as her adult career looked brightest, she stepped away. After marrying an oil executive, she transitioned from actress to producer. The crazy part? She became a powerful producer herself on shows like Lassie, though viewers never knew. Hollywood's chameleon. Dean Stockwell started as an MGM child actor in the 40s. He struggled as an adult but managed multiple resurrections. After his child stardom faded, Stockwell vanished in the 60s to join the counterculture. He re-emerged in the 80s with his hit Quantum Leap, but always kept his distance, stepping away to paint and defying the child star narrative. He wished it all away. Billy Mooney created iconic TV. Danger, Will Robinson! In Lost in Space is a catchphrase, and his chilling Twilight Zone role is still disturbing. As an adult, Mooney stepped back from acting to pursue his true passion, music. Though he took occasional roles, his focus shifted entirely, finding more satisfaction in music than acting ever provided. A living ghost of Hollywood. Margaret O'Brien, the little girl with the big tears, was MGM's top child asset in the 40s, winning an Oscar for Meet Me in St. Louis. But as she grew into her teens, the roles dried up. The transition from adorable child to adult actress proved impossible. O'Brien survived Hollywood's brutal cycle, but at the cost of her career, the international vanishing act. Bonnie Langford was Britain's answer to Shirley Temple and later gained fame as a companion on Doctor Who to international audiences. She simply disappeared after that role. But here's the catch: she never broke through internationally. Langford chose to focus on stage work in London's West End, becoming a national treasure but an international mystery. So which of these stories shocked you the most? And is Hollywood truly to blame, or is this just the price of fame? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more hidden stories.